How do we talk about our research before it's even published? Welcome back everybody. Once again, I'm Dean from iProgress, and today we're going to be talking about what preprints are. What's their value? How can they help us to disseminate our research even before it's been peer reviewed and published? Before we jump into the content, as always, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to jump over to our Twitter page where we are still giving away 1 month's free academic coaching. So make sure to go and check that out. So despite preprints not being the latest phenomena in academia nor science, their use is rarely talked about in academic programs and very rarely features on any syllabus. So in this video, we're going to give you some brief information about what preprints are. I'm going to walk you through uploading a new preprint of some of my own research, and then close by showing you how to make the most of this newly shareable document. Preprints are essentially files containing our latest research or thoughts, which can be uploaded to an open access server. This allows us to create a time-stamped record of our work, which can then be shared and disseminated to other individuals within our field. What this means in practice is that before our work has been published or even peer reviewed, we can start to gain valuable feedback and critical input on our work. This can then help us to generate future research projects and generally get our scientific knowledge out there into the general population a lot quicker. Of course, this comes with a caveat that our work hasn't been peer reviewed and as such cannot be taken as gospel. The beauty of preprints is that due to the open access nature of them, it also means that our work can be viewed by a lot of other people who wouldn't usually have access to scientific materials. Typically, lots of journals are behind paywalls, and as such, the general population, who are typically the individuals who benefit from our research, have access which is very few and far between. I've had a couple of preprints of my own actually reach over 1,000 downloads within a year or two. This is exceptional impact and really gives me hope in the value of my research to others. This is definitely a process that I would recommend for early career academics because it gives you that citation. It means that you can put something really concrete on your CV, which when you are going to hiring committees means that they can actually be viewing your work, despite it not being published to date. What's even more valuable is that we can link these preprints to other open science frameworks, meaning that we can share our data, share our methods, and hopefully start to reduce this replication crisis. In practice, if other individuals have access to our data, they have access to our materials, it means that not only can they check our research and our findings more easily, but it also means that anybody wanting to replicate and build on our research has a much easier time. Anything that we can do to help our fellow scientists, help our fellow academics is always welcome. So let's jump into having a look how I would personally upload a new preprint of my upcoming research. Okay, so there are a number of preprint servers out there depending on your particular subject area of focus. Personally, as a psychologist, I use PsyArchives. So this is generally for psychologically relevant papers. I will list some others down in the description should you want to check out other alternatives. This search tool allows you to look for preprints which are already published. This can be really useful if you're conducting systematic reviews and you want to gain a broader scope of the research which is out there, or any other type of review paper. But what we're going to be doing today is showing you how to submit your very own preprint. If you go to the submit button in the top right hand corner here, it will take you to a really user-friendly and easy to access portal. If you already have your manuscript attached to an open science framework project, you can link that very easily using this button on the right hand side. The open science framework allows you to document all of your data, your methodology, and any other documents that you want to share with a reader when your paper is published. We'll be doing a video on that subject in a few weeks' time, so make sure to look out for that. However, for the ease of this demonstration, I'm just going to be uploading straight from my computer. It allows you to drag and drop the files, of which I have here. And just like that, it starts to prepare your preprint, which will ultimately appear as a downloadable PDF. Now, I typically have my manuscript open at the same time, just because there's going to be some information that I need to copy and paste into the PsyArchives file. The first is the title. Now, this paper is a forensic psychology subject, which is looking at how individuals can harm their own children. So not the nicest of topics. We copy and paste the title in, press save and continue. It then quickly converts the file and it allows us to move on to the next element, which is the author assets. Now, this allows you to document two different aspects. The first is whether or not you want to share your data publicly. Now, we do have some data, which I'm going to be walking you through. The second allows you to state whether or not the work was pre-registered. What this means is whether you've gone on record before you conducted the research, before you conducted the data, to state what analyses you would run and what hypotheses you were testing. It also asks you to state what your assumptions are going to be about the data and the outcomes thereof. Sadly, for this project, we did not pre-register it, so I'm going to go ahead and select no. For the public data option, we do have data. So I'm going to say that that data is available, and then I'm going to provide a link to the Open Science Framework document, which has our data held within it. Just to double check that, we can use that link and search for it. And within here, we can see that we have our assumption testing that has been complete. We have our analysis documents. We have our reliability testing, and we also have our data sets and our figure generations. This allows us to say that we have a composite record of the openness in which we conducted this research and analyzed the data. So going back to the preprint, we have now completed this section. We can press save and continue. We then get to what's called the basics section. This allows us to choose a license for our data, and it also allows us to copy and paste in our abstract and keywords. Again, this is really useful to have your manuscript open at the same time. And finally, it allows you to copy and paste in your keywords, which do have to be pasted in one at a time. But nevertheless, that's fine. It will generally take 2 seconds. And we have our keywords in. These will appear on the preprint. It will allow your readers to search for your paper more easily. The original publication date, we have not published this paper just yet. So we press save and continue. And then we need to select our discipline. We're going to be looking with social and behavioral sciences, forensic and legal psychology features, and this is more forensic psychology than anything else. We'll press save and continue. Beautiful. And then it allows you to state the authors. Now, to really achieve this, it's ideal if all of your collaborators have Open Science Frameworks accounts. I have one here. I'm going to be searching for my other collaborators, Dr. Brandon Sparks. Put their name in here and they come up straight away. They are the lead author, so I'm going to use this little tab to move them above myself. Perfect. They have read and write access. And also our second collaborator, Dr. Katja Vioni, who also has an Open Science account, and they are in front of me as well in terms of the author order. Now, this order is really important because it will impact on the temporary reference and citation it gives you for this work. So do make sure to work around that. We're going to press continue. Conflict of interest, we have no conflict of interest to declare. Authors assert no conflict of interest. Again, we press save and continue. And supplementary materials, these are option. We will be connecting to an existing Open Science Framework project, of which it was called Infant Homicide. Sadly, again, not the best name there. It's come up straight away, and we can press save and continue. And then we need to just read this final statement before submitting. By submitting this preprint, you confirm that all contributors agree with sharing it and that you have the right to share this preprint. We do. We discussed it in depth last week. PsyArchive's users post moderation. When you submit this preprint, it will be assigned a DOI number and become publicly accessible via the archive. Your preprint will only become private if rejected by a moderator. The preprint file cannot be deleted, but it can be updated or modified. We then press submit preprint, press submit again, and just like that, our preprint has now been made. You have our authors here, and you can click these individually to link on to the given individual should you want to have a look at their portfolio. You can use this download button. You can share it with your social medias. You have the paper here that you can scroll through. You can also add comments and notes, which is really useful should you want to be giving feedback. You can check out the abstract, the supplementary materials, the DOI number, and also the citations. And these can just be copy and pasted straight in to your reference list or your CV. But of course, the real importance of generating preprints is to share and talk about it. There's no point in having a document stuck on a server that requires people to search for that work, because it just will not get the traction that you will need as an early career academic. One thing that I always do to supplement this is to tweet about my work. I design a thread which is around about 5, 6 or 7 tweets in a row, all connected, which showcase the great work that we have done. I tag in my collaborators, I talk about the reason we've done the research, I talk about the methodology, and most importantly, I talk about the findings and the implications. If you supplement this with appropriate hashtags, link them to yours and other individuals' institutions, link them to governing bodies, hopefully those retweets and shares will really get people talking about this new and novel research. I actually have a paper at the minute which has over 1,300 downloads and is yet to be published. Really impactful, really timely, and really poignant. If you found this video useful, as always, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment down below to let us know your experience with using preprints. Hopefully, it's been as easy a process as I've just shown. I've been Dean from iProgress. I really hope you've enjoyed this content, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.